I've been practicing for over 30 years. I graduated in 1983, so it would be my 32nd year. It varies. Personally, myself, I see about 10 to 12 patients a day. My hygienist, per hygienist, see about 8 to 10 patients a day. So depending on how many people I have working, it can range anywhere from 10 to 35 patients a day that actually go through this office. Because this is a new clinic and we do have some transfer patients and some new patients and friends and relatives, at the moment we have registered about 800 patients and we've been here for about a year.
Okay. What about the old office as
The
well?
old office, I've been there for over 25 years. We have registered over 3,500 patients.
Okay.
Now, not all patients are current because people do come and go or they move around. Some have moved out of the area, but on file there's over 3,500 patients. I started about 15 years ago. I started with a smaller company, which I used for about 3 to 4 years, and then I migrated to a larger software company that could handle not only the volume of patients, but also that can handle being a paperless type of software. Meaning that I can chart, I can take x-rays, I can document everything through the computer.
Okay. So this is about the year 2000 is when the software came out, or?
This particular software that I'm on have been out probably in the late 1990s.
Okay.
And then from then till now we've gone through from version number 3 to version number 14. So it's gone through over 10 versions that we've gone through, and each version they've upgraded all the benefits, all the I guess things that you can do with the software. This one is from one vendor, but they have modules from other vendors that they can integrate in.
Okay.
So for example, this software is for appointment scheduling, for accounting purposes, okay? It's also for charting patients' charts, but it will integrate in an x-ray module where you can take the x-rays and then integrate it back into the patient chart.
So that's from a different vendor?
That's on a different vendor.
Okay.
There was no, in terms of major software vendors, I would say there's probably only 3 large companies, and then maybe a handful of smaller companies, about 3 as well, so we only had 6 to choose from.
6 to choose from.
Yes.
The main 3. Could you name those?
It would be Dentrix, which is this one right here.
Okay.
It would be Able Dent, and it would be Logitech. Those are the 3 main ones at that time. Most dentists, okay, in Canada will use one of the major 3 softwares. Now, I would say now, not all offices are computerized still to today. There are still some that aren't, but the majority of them will pick one of the major 3 software companies. I guess the fact that they're progressive and they're constantly upgrading their software to meet the needs of dentists. 2, it's widely used by dentists, so it's widely supported, so the support is good. Especially if the support is in Canada, because there are a lot of American companies that carry the product, but they don't have any Canadian support, so the software is is an apple for Canada because the codes for our procedures are slightly different in Canada versus the States. With the actual procedures, for example, the tooth codes are done differently. And the Americans use their standard, and Canada uses the international standard.
Okay.
So the tooth numbers are different. Two, the costs for the services are different too in Canada versus the States.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, three, the insurance companies that we deal with are different in Canada versus the States as well.
Great.
And the software has to be geared towards all of those factors. I think cost is the major factor. I think it's whatever you're comfortable using is
Okay.
a major factor because they're integrated slightly differently.
Different. Okay.
Okay. When I looked at all the softwares, I picked the one that I thought that I would like to use, the interface,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was easier for me. The actual, depending on how many modules you want to purchase, okay, my purchase price is about $15,000
$15,000
for the dental module
Mm-hmm.
and about $3,000 for the X-ray module
Okay. Per year.
per year.
Per year.
Okay.
And the license allowed you to use on each computer in your
That
practice. So
license will allow me to use it on 10 computers.
10 computers.
Yes, up to 10. It's relatively easy. Most of it's point and click.
Mm-hmm.
The finer details, you do have to go to courses to learn how to use the
Mhm.
software,
Mm-hmm.
but most of it is pretty self-explanatory. When you first purchase the software, there is amount of training is included, and they will come to your office and will train your staff.
Mm-hmm.
For each subsequent staff that comes in, the senior staff member you should try.
You should try.
trains the
Okay.
junior
Great.
staff member.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that though, there are courses throughout the year that the company will offer that you can go to a classroom and they will train you as
Okay.
well. It's harder to shift from one to the other because then you have to convert your
Convert.
data.
Convert your data. Okay.
Yeah, which is very time
Okay.
consuming.
Okay.
The other concern is now you have to retrain all your staff and
Yeah.
using the new software. So it's much easier to stay within
Stay
your
with
own
the same
software company
software.
unless there's a real big reason as to
reason.
why you have to move.
Okay.
The software itself doesn't require a lot of major hardware requirements. So any computer that is an i3 even will run this. In the workstations though, there does have to be a dedicated video card to be able to see the X-ray images a lot clearer.
Mm-hmm.
The other clerical stations don't need that video card. Each workstation we purchase, the computer is about $800 for all the things that we need in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in the cost of the monitor, so the total cost per station is about $1,000. I think eventually it would be nice to be able to do this by voice accurately,
Okay.
okay? Because you're working and sometimes you have your gloves on and you don't want to take them off to enter in information. So it would be nice to do it
Just
by
by
voice.
voice. Okay.
Right now it's there, but it's not very accurate. Sometimes the computer
Mm-hmm.
misses your dictation.
Dictation.
So,
Yeah. Accent also.
Maybe terminology.
yes.
Terminology or
So that would
accent.
be everything. So that's why we don't use that part widely
Mhm.
because it's kind of hit and miss still. We do have that in that X-ray module.
Okay.
We do attach an intraoral camera that we do show areas of concern to patients. And that is recorded on their files more.
Okay.
So that is already available.
Okay. And a patient can access those file videos?
No, they can't.
They can't.
Again, it's stored on their file, and the only way
It's
to
for
access
the
it.
reference of the doctors who will.
That's correct.
And just
If they-
during their visit or something.
Yes.
Mhm.
If they wished, the odd time, if they wished a photograph of a tooth that has concerns, we will print out that photograph for them.
Okay, good.
They're working on like 3D visualizations of the mouth or of the tooth. Do you think those things would be beneficial to you at all during?
I think it's good for patient education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To explain to things and to show to patients what's there and what can be done. I think I know there are companies working towards that. So that is something that I would think about using in the future. They can email us, okay,
Yeah.
with their concerns, but it doesn't get entered directly into the software.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It would be nice if that email get entered into the records.
That's something that they're working on
Mhm.
and is available, but I don't think it'd be widely used though.
Okay. Okay. It's not a necessity.
It's not a
to just-
necessity.
Okay.
But it is a necessity that we send out emails from our
Mhm.
software so we
Mhm.
can track things, but
Okay.
not their emails going in usually.
Okay. So currently you're not able to send emails from the software, right? And you think that would be great if you can send email.
Currently you can, but we don't have that module
Okay.
because I haven't had need to use it.
Oh, okay.
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 But currently it is available. If you're doing a mass mailing,
Mm-hmm.
you can currently
Use
extract from database and send out emails through that.
Okay.
So it is available.
Okay.
For this company, it's very easy. They have a 14-hour window that they're open. There are people who support the software all over North America,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very easy to pick up the phone.
Okay, great. And in case of any issues in your software, if you report an issue, what would be the turnaround time? How fast they solve the issues
They solve it within the hour.
within an hour?
And in fact, if there's any concerns in your software, they'll just remote access into your system,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will correct everything that you have. It's like local, but it's also backed up offsite. Other than the fact that our network is protected and all the data is on our own servers in-house, and that's so it's protected through our security software here. Our backup is done through an authorized company that is then backed up encrypted to an offsite location. So then relying on the backup company to protect our information. If they notify us, then we will email them with the appropriate information.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can share X-rays, but they can't access directly into the patient
Into the
file.
patient
It
file.
will be exported out of the patient file into the email and then subsequently sent.
Is there any government authority which asks for data for the sake of analysis? And then
No.
We don't have any. Right?
Like census or anything like that?
Census or anything? No.
No,
Okay, so that's not in dentistry.
no. I'll say no because there's always general sections that you can add information in, like patient notes or medical notes. So the answer is no, because there is boxes that you can add in as a note that you can readily access. say yes, because it's very easy to share the information as needed
Mm-hmm.
if you go digital. Because the X-rays are digital, and we basically send the image over digitally.
So you prefer digital over paper in time?
In time, yes, because it's much easier to share.
It's much easier. It's less effort. Oh,
Are there any values of having a paper record, like if you think back to before you had it, were there any benefits to that over digital?
At this moment, I would say no. It really isn't, because I can access the chart so much quicker digitally.
It's so much easier now.
Yeah, exactly.
Same time.
Like when I started practicing 30 years ago, it was unheard of to have a computer even in the operatory or in the treatment room. Now these cabinets are designed. If you look here, the tower is incorporated into the top part of the unit. I have a sliding monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything's incorporated into
one
all
unit.
the cabinets.
It's
Yeah.
one unit. Yeah. Great.
So, yeah, I can communicate with any of my staff in the office without even having to walk over to their room. And then if I take an X-ray, I can view it in any single room I want.
Good.
If the patient asks me what their next appointment is, I can access everything from here without having to go to the paper appointment book and look it up. So it's much easier.
So much